that was his wake-up call to know now don't take Usyk lightly. If he doesn't take Usyk lightly, then I think it's going to be a hard fight.
Following the release of Oleksandr Usyk's most recent training video, boxing experts have advised Fury not to fight. Anthony Joshua, a boxer, thinks Usyk will prevail against Fury in their forthcoming match. He said with TalkSport about how we incredible warriors will stop at nothing to show that he can perform exceptionally well. I can't speak to what it's like to fight Fury because I have never faced him. I have to predict that Oleksandr Usyk will win. Joshua stated that the choices of the fans would eventually determine whether or not he wants to fight Fury or Usyk. He said that the supporters would receive it if they so desired. In the end, he said, it's what the fans want. Fans will see it if they want to. I would personally love to compete against Oleksandr Usyk. I don't think that's the first choice on the fans' lists, but let's give it our all. Joshua continued, saying that boxing promoter Turki Usyk is diligently working to make the huge fight with Fury happen, and that the fans are excited for it. He went on to say that Turki Usyk is working on getting them that huge bout with Fury. Fury has to fulfill his duties to Usyk, so I have to be careful to maintain my discipline. I have to keep destroying opponents in order to get closer to facing Tyson Fury in a fight for both the fans and myself. However, Roy Jones Jr. has said that in order for Oleksandr Usyk to defeat Fury, he must force the latter to acknowledge his strength. Particularly at heavyweight, the Ukrainian slickster is not known for his potent punching ability. While competing at cruiserweight, he recorded a number of noteworthy knockouts, the most memorable of which was his vicious 2018 knockout of Tony. With the exception of the times Daniel survived a count while on his knees and Chaz Witherspoon chose to hang up his gloves in his corner, most of his matches have gone to the final bell since he started lifting heavier weights. Usyk's superior quickness and ability to fight on his knees have allowed him to win most of his battles by outboxing his opponent. Because of his better quickness and fighting ability, Usyk has won most of his fights by totally outboxing his opponent. Nevertheless, Jones Jr. thinks this won't be enough to defeat Fury. Jones claimed that although Usyk is a skilled tactician, he lacks explosiveness. It would be problematic when you are tiny and approaching the larger guys if he was explosive. Bring explosives to the ring or else they won't treat you with any respect. Jones has doubts about Usyk's prospects of defeating Fury if he doesn't improve his explosiveness prior to their fight. He brought up Fury's earlier bout with Francis, saying that although Fury didn't go as planned, he is still a strong opponent who would contend with Usyk. Jones went on to say that Usyk will not defeat Fury if he is unable to locate those bombs before the match. What people say doesn't matter to me. Although Fury didn't treat Ngannou with respect and didn't appear to be at his best against him, he is still Fury and will take boxing legend and Usyk seriously. Although Usyk is among the best fighters in the world in terms of power ratios, Prince Nazim Pomet has predicted that Fury will win on points. The former cruiserweight is 6 inches shorter than his opponent and may even be 50 pounds lighter. If the bout goes the entire distance, is sure that Fury will prevail. I'm hoping Fury wins that fight on points, Prince stated. In my opinion, he will raise his hand in the 12th round if he stands up, regardless of the outcome. It looks like it will be a difficult battle. At the end of the 12th round, all I want him to do is stand up. If everything goes according to plan, Fury should win by points. The Ukrainian boxer, according to Usyk's promoter, possesses special abilities that will make him a nightmare for the British fighter. Crook stated, I can tell you about Usyk's secret weapon. The fact that it's not a secret is the only issue. His heart, head experience, and boxing prowess serve as his weapons. His discipline is the primary difference between him and Fury. It is his strongest weapon, and what sets him apart. In an interview with ILTV, the trainer of Malik Scott hinted that Fury would try to come into the fight lighter, which could change the result. Scott stated that at first he supported Usyk, but after seeing Fury 30 pounds lighter, he changed his mind. He observed that Fury seemed to move and resemble the lighter version of himself, which Scott believes to be the best version of Fury and less prone to weaknesses.
Mind if I was going with Usyk and then I seen Tyson Fury 30 pounds lighter and it instinctively changed my mind. Oh yeah, I seen him very light and he was moving and just looking like the old Fury, the lighter Fury that to me is the best Fury and not as vulnerable.
Scott went on to say that he finds the battle between Tyson Fury and Usyk on a poster to be quite intriguing. He recognized Fury's well-known skills, especially when he is psychologically tough and in good shape, which Scott feels is usually the case, and he praised Usyk's southpaw style and the strengths he brings to the ring.
I said, I don't know now. It's a tough fight. I'm sitting here looking at both of them on the poster. It's a very good fight because it's almost like you got Usyk as a southpaw, and we all know what he brings. But then you got Tyson, and we all know what he brings when he's in shape and he's mentally tough, which is majority of the time and every time that he's fought. So we'll.
I looked at the two of them on a poster and said, "Oh, I don't know now. This is going to be a tough fight." It's almost like you have Usyk as the southpaw, and we all know what he brings, but you also have Tyson, and we all know what he brings when he's mentally tough, which is most of the time in every fight he's had, so we'll see. In addition, Malik. According to Scott, Deontay Wilder would be willing to face Tyson Fury 4 times in the future while they pursue separate professional careers. WBC heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua and heavyweight contender Tyson Fury have faced off 3 times since their controversial draw in their first fight. Fury's victory in each of their subsequent fights is likely to close that chapter, but Scott told Casino Online that Joshua and Fury are still on his radar if he is free. He added that Joshua is a bigger name than Jared Anderson. Deontay would fly to Wembley to fight Edge faster than Superman changes clothes if the correct price and legacy were offered. Deontay is a world fighter, not a guy who only fights at home. He would fight Edge wherever he went to Russian to face Oleksandr Usyk, and he would fight anyone anywhere in the globe. Additionally, Scott stated that he thinks Deontay Wilder wants to face Tyson Fury before retiring, saying that Fury is undoubtedly at the top of Wilder's list of opponents and that Wilder is clearly open to the notion. Scott continued, saying, "I think Deontay wants to fight Tyson Fury before he retires. He is extremely open to hitting Fury, who is undoubtedly on his hit list." Frank Warren says Tyson Fury will fight Oleksandr Usyk on his terms in their next title fight, but he advises against drawing too much attention to Fury's last year fight with Francis. Co-promoter of Warren Fury exclusively informed Sky Sports Warren highlights Fury's prior accomplishments, citing his masterful outboxing of Vladimir Klitschko in 2015 to seize the championship and his dominant performance against the formidable Wilder to secure the WBC title 5 years later in their exciting trilogy rematch. He added, "I wouldn't look too much into that Ngannou fight with Tyson. That's probably his worst performance as a champion against Ngannou. You look at all his other performances, and he's raised his game. Tyson was cut in the Ngannou fight, but he recovered well and won the fight." Warren said that even though Tyson Fury was fighting in Klitschko's adopted country of Germany, the fight was a demonstration of pure boxing prowess. Warren observed that although Fury gave a masterclass in boxing, his style has changed since his second matchup with Wilder. Despite facing challenges, such as being knocked down a few times, Fury has turned into a more aggressive fighter who moves forward and throws blows. Fury's modified technique demonstrates his punching power. Warren continued by addressing the misconception that Fury is not a significant puncher. He suggested looking at the number of stoppages on Fury's record, indicating that opponents typically stop only when they can withstand any more punishment. He added this thing about how since the second fight with Wilder, he's changed his style. He goes on the front foot and he's throwing shots. He's taking a few, by the way. He's had to get off the floor a few times, but he's changed his style quite a bit. I believe that's what will happen to Usyk because Tyson is a very clever fighter who only gets stopped when he can take it no more. Tyson is not a huge puncher. Just look at how many stoppages he has on his record. The fight between Fury and Usyk was originally scheduled to take place in February, but due to a cut above Fury's right eye sustained during practice, it was postponed until May. The winner will become the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis in 1999, making history in the four-belt era. Warren thinks his fighter will enter the ring in the best physical condition of his career. He also added that it's unfortunate that he cut his eye because it was obvious from looking at him how ripped he was. Warren said that working so hard for the fight was the hardest thing he'd ever done, but he keeps working hard and doesn't just train for fights. He trains every day doing things that he didn't do when he was walking around, probably 11 cents more than he is now. Warren also discussed Fury's preparation for the upcoming fight, highlighting his extraordinary level of fitness. He said that Fury's commitment to training has ensured that he remains in excellent physical condition even without having to lose excess weight. Tyson keeps working hard, but he's going to be super fit for this fight, and I'll tell you why, because even if he was carrying excess weight, he hasn't got to lose it because he was so fit from the training before he got cut, Fury said. After analyzing this historic fight, Paul Imalogy declared with confidence that Tyson Fury had the distinct advantage over his Ukrainian opponent. Molini also acknowledged that Usyk can win matches by using his intelligence and found solutions, but he also highlighted the difficulty that Fury presents to Usyk, saying, I still favor Fury because of the size. Usyk is not going to hand it over to you. He's always found a way to win and solve the puzzle, because he's a very intelligent boxer. The biggest heavyweight of the era is Fury, so it makes it so difficult for Usyk, who is not natural heavyweight. Molina G emphasized how challenging it is for Usyk, who isn't naturally heavyweight, to match Fury's stature. Advantage also warned against underestimating Usyk, but acknowledged that it's difficult to imagine Fury losing the bout in the hopes of seeing a highly motivated Fury in the ring. Also said that while you can't write him off, it's difficult to imagine Fury losing the bout in hopes of seeing a motivated Fury. Before his undisputed world title showdown with Tony Bell in November 2018, British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion Fabio Wardley trained with Usyk. Speaking about it, he said that sparring with Usyk was like fighting a mental battle, perhaps even more so than a physical one, because he does so many little things to keep you on edge, agitated, and wondering what his next move, what his next plan, how he's going to approach you are. Usyk's unwavering focus is a significant factor in his remarkable success, according to Wardley, who views Usyk's minimalist training camp as a reflection of his broader life philosophy, where he values simplicity over extravagance, unaffected by the allure of fame or material wealth, despite the substantial earnings from his notable championship fights. He stated, "I think you can see with him that he's not interested in this stuff. He doesn't seem to care about things like rolling up in a Rolls Royce or having a big gold chain on, or anything of the sort, so I think that carries over into his training as well." Wardley predicts that Fury's considerable height and reach advantage over Usyk will be his biggest obstacle in the ring, but he also sees opportunities to take advantage of them despite his misgivings about Usyk's decision win over, which raised some unanswered questions. Wardley continued, "Fury can easily fall into a fairly repetitive rhythm if the fight is going at a comfortable pace. He feels like he's landing his jab and boxing reasonably well, and he may also grow relaxed and content with the way the fight is going." Wardley went on to emphasize Usyk's ability to spot weaknesses in his anger style and quickly adjust during the fight. He even hinted that Usyk might be able to drastically change the fight's appearance by quickly changing the match's dynamics and tempo. "I think both of them are coming off of dubious performances, which have raised a lot of doubts on either side, so who's the favorite? Really, I don't know, but I think in terms of favorite, I think a lot of people are edging towards Usyk, more so mentality-based. I think he's more focused on the task at hand," according to Johnny Nelson of Sky Sports Boxing. "We stress the importance of Usyk's sharpness, alertness, and ability to adapt, suggesting that these factors could lead to significant shifts in the fight's outcome. It appears like Tyson Fury is having difficulty gaining a psychological edge on Usyk." Nelson predicts a heated finish to their next match for the undisputed heavyweight title clash, but he also mentioned that Tyson Fury has a cunning way of flipping the script, as he showed against Vladimir Klitschko. He can outwit the knowledgeable by dressing like a fool. Klitschko's derision only served to fuel Fury's crafty maneuver, which caught the former champion off guard. However, he added that with Oleksandr Usyk, the issue lies in the translation, making it difficult for Tyson to intimidate Usyk in person. Tyson attempted to use physical force. "We anticipate that Fury's formidable physical attributes could pose a significant challenge for Usyk, but it's important to note that Fury's strength lies not only in his sheer size but also in his agility, reach, and speed rather than brute force." While many fighters strictly adhere to the rules, the moment they feel a low blow or an elbow, they're quick to protest to the referee, only to find themselves on the receiving end of a beating amidst their complaints. Nelson continued, saying that regardless of what his public relations representatives say, a pre-recorded statement from Usyk was shown to Fury a week prior to the historic unification fight. Usyk assured Tyson that he need not be afraid and that he would not be left alone. When played back the message, Fury was unclear of what it meant and asked, "What does that even mean, him to send a little message to you, polite, as you know?" Usyk said, "Hey my friend, don't be afraid. I won't leave you alone." What exactly does it mean? In the days before their big battle, Fury and his opponent from Ukraine had exchanged letters. The bizarre Gypsy King has insulted Usyk numerous times. Nonetheless, Fury politely pulled faces on his upcoming interview in an open discussion with Queensberry Promotions. Fury underlined his admiration for Oleksandr Usyk, describing him as a strong opponent and cautioning against undervaluing him in light of his Olympic victories. Both the undisputed heavyweight and cruiserweight titles, comparing Usyk's record to that of less seasoned opponents. Fury emphasized that he is up against a fighter on par with Holyfield's caliber. "I'm training hard for Oleksandr Usyk because he's a real bad man, and any underestimate of him would make you a mug. I respect Usyk more as a man than any boxing accomplishment, and he's been an Olympic champion, an undisputed cruiserweight champion, and a unified heavyweight champion, so you have to respect that I'm not fighting some guys at 14 and 111. Additionally, I'm fighting the real deal, as real as Holyfield. Fury expressed excitement for the match, pointing out Usyk's technical skill, excellent footwork, and southpaw stance. Fury cited Usyk's victories over Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua as proof of his ability to compete at the highest level and acknowledged him as an elite fighter. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. Even though he claims to have good footwork and good boxing ability, technically, he's sound, and he's proven he can mix it with big heavyweights because he defeated Joshua, even though they were pretty big heavyweights. Fury said that his small frame may be a disadvantage when he faces us. He has increased his exercise and diet, eating a healthier diet, and the weight is simply dropping off of him. Fury credits his training camp for his appearance, so perhaps the nutritionist should intervene and advise him to eat more red meat. Fury's size is one of his main advantages over Usyk, but if he loses weight, he will have to rely more on his movement speed and boxing prowess. He also noted that Fury is more prone to being hit on the chin, noting a rise in punches landed on him in recent years. I'm not sure if Fury being lighter is a good thing though, as his weight allowed him to defeat Deontay Wilder by leaning on him, tying him up, and simply having his way. When things get tough for Fury, he can sit back, grab the back of his opponent's neck, lean on him, and use his body weight to get himself out of a tight spot. Denzel or British Bentley recently stressed to Talksport.com that Fury might face point deductions if he decides to play to his strengths. Furthermore, Bentley stated that the fight between Fury and Usyk presents an intriguing fight, acknowledging Fury's overall advantage, but praising Usyk as an exceptional boxer. He noted Usyk's impressive movement and noted his ability to outbox heavier opponents in previous matches. Fury cuts fairly easily, so I don't think anything will happen because of the cut and sparring. If he gets cut, he will get cut anyway. Further highlighting Usyk's strength and his ability to move around the ring and box comfortably as a heavyweight, Bentley implied that these attributes might work in his favor in the forthcoming bout. Although Fury will have difficulty entering, once inside he will lean in and cause chaos. If Fury is able to do so and the referee permits him to do so without penalizing him, I will support Fury on points. However, it will likely be a close fight. Talksport Boxing's George Groves talked about the fight and restated his prediction that Usyk would win. He said, "Yeah, I picked Usyk to beat Fury. I remember when Usyk first moved up to heavyweight, I said he's a dark horse, don't write him off." He went on to say that it did seem a little unbelievable at the time that he wouldn't be able to compete with fighters like Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury, who had perhaps just recently returned to form and defeated Wilder Groves. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of our others on the screen. As the fight date draws near, tensions are building and predictions are flying. While some think Fury's size and experience will ultimately prevail, others see Usyk as a formidable challenger with the skills and determination to pull off an upset. Fury has a lot of boxing knowledge, a great boxing IQ, and that size, which he always uses to his advantage. However, it's possible that time has caught up with them a little